Now that we have our data downloaded, we can start preparing it to bring into QGIS. The first thing we'll do is open this data with overlays. Now, the data table I downloaded from the census only has two fields, 2 rows, 2 columns, I should say. It is likely your data will have a lot more rows. If you're having trouble interpreting all these rows, remember you do have a metadata file here that will tell you all the data, what the columns named are, and then what they represent. So for us, we just want the estimate of the median household income in the past 12 months. So if whatever data sets you're using, I would recommend anything you don't need. I would recommend identifying the columns you do need temporarily, maybe just by coloring them in yellow, and then deleting everything else that you don't need. You don't need to bring everything into QGIS if you don't actually need to use it. So get rid of that. Now we have 3 rows in our non-spatial data, our median income data. We need to start getting this prepared to bring it to QGIS. The first thing, we can't have 2 rows of headings. So I'm going to change this field, this row here, just to median income, or an abbreviation of median income. And once I've done that, I can go ahead and delete this row. Now, let's look at that data we downloaded into QGIS. Let me open QGIS. Let's look at our census tracts, our geographies of our data. So if we open up the attribute table, which you'll see in the next video how to download this data set, we have all sorts of different columns that are that we could potentially use to link the data sets to. So there's a GeoID here, but when we look at our data set, this one, our GeoID field does not match it. So we can see, one, it does have the correct justification, just left justified, telling us that this is coded as a text file, where our median income, since it's right justified, it is numeric data. But this GeoID is too long, so we can't just straight join these GeoIDs together. And this field might work, but it might not work. I know from experience it doesn't always work. So what we're going to do is basically just create a new field in our Excel table that will match this GeoID field. So I am just going to right-click and insert a new field. And you can simply call it Join Me. I do this a lot. If I have a lot of rows and I can't remember which one's which, you could call it GeoID2, whatever you want. Now we are going to use a formula in Excel that's going to look at this cell here, or this cell in the A column, and only return the last 10 digits so it matches up with these 10 digits here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, is it 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so we will tell it, we just want to return the last 10 digits, or starting at the right of our text string here, we just want to return the last 10 characters. So it'll count 10 to the left, starting on the right side. So that formula is parentheses, right, returns specified number of characters from the end of a text string. Whoops, right. A, we'll just click on that cell there, comma, the number of characters we want to return, so 10, parentheses, and we need one more closing parentheses, and then we hit enter. Now, it didn't return the 0, which we need, so did I count wrong? Or is this missing? Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'll change this to 11. All right, so it'll be the 11 characters. Okay, from here we will hover over the bottom right corner until it becomes a plus sign, and then I'm going to drag it all the way down to the bottom. You make sure you go all the way to the bottom of all of our census tracts. Okay. So now we have that same formula for all of our census tracts, but it's giving us the correct census ID number based on this cell over here. The last thing we have to do is tell it that this formatting is text. So I've clicked on the B or whatever field or column you're using it in. I'll click under number. From general, we want to make sure that this is set as a text field, a string field. Then I'm going to click on File, Save As. I will call this and keep that as a CSV. Go ahead and click Save. And then we'll head over to QGIS and the next video to see how to bring this into QGIS.